I got married 3 years ago. At that time, I had just been certified as a chartered accountant. It was a big achievement for me. I had worked really hard in school and passed all my exams. My husband, on the other hand, only had his first degree. He had gone to university and finished, but he didn't continue further like I did. Because of this difference in our education levels, I earned more money than him. This wasn't a problem for me at all. I loved him, and I didn't care that I made more money. But I started thinking about our future together as a family. I thought about the kind of life we wanted to live. I thought about the children we would have someday. I thought about how we would need more money to take care of everything. So I suggested something to him. I told him that he should go back to school and get more education. That way, he would be able to get a better job. With a better job, he would earn more money. Then both of us would be able to handle our household expenses together. It made sense to me. I wasn't trying to make him feel bad about earning less. I just wanted us to build a better future together. His salary was really small compared to mine. Because of this, I was the one paying most of the bills in our house. I paid for almost everything. The rent, the food, the electricity, the water, everything. Apart from the fact that my family has money and I come from a comfortable background, I also earn really well from my job. So I was able to contribute my part without complaining too much. Money wasn't the problem. The only thing I kept asking him to do was to go back to school. I would bring it up again and again. But he didn't want to do it. He was reluctant. He would give me different excuses. He would say he was too old to go back to school. He would say he didn't have time. He would say he was fine with his current job. My constant talk about this school issue started creating problems between us. We would argue about it. The arguments became more frequent. Our home was no longer peaceful. I could see that my insistence was causing trouble in our marriage. So for the sake of peace, I decided to leave the subject alone. I stopped bringing it up. I thought maybe if I gave him time, he would see the sense in what I was saying and go back to school on his own. When the school issue stopped being a problem between us, I thought things would get better. But instead, another problem showed up. This one was even more difficult for me to handle. I noticed something that had been going on since we got married. I was always the one who initiated our romance life. Every single time we were intimate, I was the one who started it. He never came to me. He never showed that he wanted me. And during the act itself, he wouldn't say anything. He would just be there, silent and distant. Even after it was over, he still wouldn't say anything. No words of love. No words of affection. Nothing. The whole experience made me feel terrible. Instead of feeling like I was making love with my husband, it felt like he was doing me a favor. It felt like he was just going through the motions. Because I wanted it. Not because he wanted it too. Do you understand what I mean? It felt cold and empty. There was no warmth. There was no connection. It was just physical, with no emotion attached to it. This situation bothered me deeply, but I couldn't find a way to talk to him about it. Whenever I tried to bring up anything related to our intimate life, he would shut down completely. He was always closed off when it came to this subject. He wouldn't listen. He wouldn't engage in the conversation. This made it impossible for me to open up about my concerns and discomforts. I had so many things I wanted to say, but I couldn't say them because he wouldn't create the right atmosphere for such discussions. For 3 whole years, I put up with his coldness in the bedroom. 3 years of feeling unwanted. 3 years of feeling like I was the only one invested in that part of our marriage. During this time, a thought started forming in my mind. I began to wonder if maybe he wasn't attracted to women at all. I started thinking that maybe he was into men instead. It would explain why he was so cold and distant with me. It would explain why he never initiated anything. The thought wouldn't leave my mind. Recently, I decided that I needed to know the truth. I needed to satisfy my curiosity and confirm if indeed he was attracted to men instead of women. For the first time since I met him, I did something I never thought I would do. I went through his personal things. I checked his phone. I went through his messages. I looked at his photos. I searched through everything, and what I found shocked me completely. I am absolutely sure that I would have been less shocked if I had found out he was into men. What I actually saw was so much worse. It completely destroyed my heart. It broke me into pieces. I found photos on his phone. They were photos of his ex-girlfriend. And in these photos, she wasn't wearing any clothes. She was completely naked. This was the same girlfriend who had left him years ago. She had broken up with him because she felt he was beneath her. She thought he wasn't good enough for her because he didn't have much money or status. I was the one who chose to love him when he was in that low state. I was the one who saw potential in him. I was the one who decided to help him and raise him up to become somebody that his family would look up to. I stood by him. I supported him financially. I encouraged him. I tried to push him to better himself. And now, after all of that, he was going back to the same girl who couldn't love him when he had nothing. The same girl who rejected him and made him feel worthless. He was still chasing after her, but the pain didn't stop there. As I continued looking through his phone, I discovered that she wasn't the only woman he was talking to. He was going around proposing love to different ladies. He was sending messages to multiple women, telling them he loved them, asking them to be with him. I read these messages and I felt embarrassed on his behalf. I saw how fast these ladies turned him down. They rejected him one after another. They weren't interested in him at all. What made it even worse was what he did after they rejected him. Instead of moving on with dignity when these women said no, he would send them money. He would literally pay these girls. And in return, he would beg them to send him their naked photos. He was buying nude pictures from women who didn't even want him. Women who had rejected his advances. He was paying them for photos of their naked bodies. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I felt sick to my stomach. I needed to know exactly how much money he was spending on this behavior. So I sat down with my best friend and showed her everything I had found. Together we did some calculations. We added up all the amounts he had sent to different women. We looked at how much he was spending on buying these photos. When we finished with our calculations, we were both shocked at the final figure. We concluded that he spends a huge amount of money on other women. The total amount he spends on them is more than half of his salary. Can you imagine? More than half of everything he earns goes to paying other women for their naked photos. Meanwhile, I am the one paying all our bills. I am the one taking care of our household expenses. I am the one feeding us, clothing us, keeping a roof over our heads. And he is taking his small salary and throwing it away on strangers. I sat there and asked myself a painful question. Is this what I get for trying to help a poor man? Is this my reward for trying to help him manage his life so he too can become someone great? I gave up so much for this man. I sacrificed my own comfort for our shared future. And this is how he repays me. If this man truly wanted a good life for himself, he wouldn't be using his own hands to destroy the future I was working so hard to build for us. He would be supporting my efforts. He would be contributing to our goals. But instead, he is sabotaging everything. Before we got married, we sat down and made plans together. We agreed that we would buy a piece of land as soon as possible. We said we would start a building project. We wanted to build our own house so we wouldn't have to rent forever. This was our dream. To make this dream possible, I made a huge sacrifice. I gave up my comfort and moved in with him in his family's house. Living in his family's house was not easy for me. I was used to having my own space. I was used to privacy. But I gave all of that up because I thought we were working towards something together. I thought we were saving money to buy land and build our house. That's what we agreed. That's what I was sacrificing for. So far, we haven't done anything toward that goal. We haven't bought any land. We haven't started any building project. We are still living in his family's house. Every time I bring up the issue of making our joint contribution toward buying the land, my husband says his money isn't ready. He always has an excuse. He says he has other expenses. He says he will contribute next month. He keeps postponing and delaying. Now I know the real reason why his money is never ready. It's because of his fixation with other women's naked bodies. He would rather throw his money at these women than contribute toward buying a piece of land for our future home. He would rather pay strangers for photos than invest in building something with his wife. I don't understand this behavior. Is this normal? Has my husband been bewitched? Is there some sort of spell on him that makes him waste his money like this? I cannot explain it any other way. How can a man choose naked photos over building a future with his wife? After seeing everything I saw on his phone, after discovering where his money really goes, I have made a decision. I have decided that I need to start looking out for myself. Nobody else is going to protect my interests. My husband clearly isn't thinking about our future together, so I need to think about my own future. I want to know if I will be wrong to withdraw my financial support from this marriage. Should I stop paying all the bills? Should I stop carrying the financial burden alone while he wastes his money on other women? I want to channel all the money I've been spending on our household into buying myself a piece of land. I want to buy property in my own name. I have seen the consequences of settling for less. I have seen what happens when you sacrifice everything for someone who doesn't appreciate it. Now I am just looking to make the best out of a bad situation. I want to go ahead with the rest of my life without my husband and my plans. I know in my heart that my marriage is over. There is no coming back from what I discovered. The trust is completely broken. The love I had for him has died. When I look at him now, all I feel is disappointment and disgust. The way this man talks about his ex-girlfriend's current relationship shows me everything I need to know. He talks about it with so much pain in his voice. There is so much jealousy in his words. It's clear that he is still in love with her. He never got over her. I was just a substitute. I was just the woman who was there when he couldn't have her. Sometimes I wish I could contact this ex-girlfriend and ask her to take him back. That way, both of them would be happy. He could be with the woman he really wants. And I could be free from this painful marriage. But it's too late for that. The lady is about to get married, and the man she is marrying is someone who makes the situation even more complicated. Her fiancé is a man who is her godfather. This same man also happens to be my husband's godfather. They share the same godfather. It's a messy situation all around. Till now, the only person who knows what I found is my best friend. She is the one I showed all the evidence to. She is the one who helped me calculate how much money he spends on other women. Apart from her, I haven't told anyone else. I still haven't confronted my husband about what I discovered. I haven't said a word to him. I haven't told anyone in our families either. Not his parents. Not my parents. Not our siblings. Nobody knows what is happening. Every day, I go about my normal activities smiling as if everything is okay. I go to work. I come home. I cook. I clean. I act like I am fine. But inside, I am completely broken. I am a shipwreck on the inside. My heart is shattered into a million pieces. I am drowning in pain and betrayal, but I can't show it. I am suffering in silence. I need advice. I need someone to tell me what to do. Do you think this marriage is worth saving? Should I try to fix things with a man who clearly doesn't value me? Or should I count my losses and move on? Should I walk away from this marriage and start fresh? I really need to know what the right decision is, because I am completely lost right now.